Hey guys, welcome to Something Else Amiga. What do we got on the show today? We got Big Hoss. This is my other Amiga 3000 tower that did not blow up. And today we're going to be upgrading it. First is the 2065 Commodore Ethernet card. It does do BNC ThinNet or AUI. To get Ethernet out of it, we're going to be using the Centercom 210T Twisted Base Pair transceiver. Gives me a 10 megabyte port. Simply clicks on to the back of your unit, and you got Ethernet. Next up is the macro system Toccata 16-bit sound card. 1/4-inch jobber on these bad boys. Takes the big fat guys. So I have some converters that I'm going to hopefully attempt, and supposedly there's AHI drivers for these. There's also some internal doodads that I'm going to figure out in just a moment. And finally, the big hoss is this bad boy. Do any of you know what this is? This is called an Emplant card. This is a Macintosh card, and it has the ROMs, and you can put some SCSI on here and some other doodads and a battery, and it says Pro Upgrade, and I don't know what these are for, so we'll figure that out. We're going to slap that in. Got all the software for it. We're going to download the software from resources on my network once we get this bad boy set up. I'm first going to do the first card, which is going to be the 2065 Ethernet adapter. I'm going to open up this bad boy, flapper sideways, and we'll get that right now. Okay, got some jumpers, which I'm just going to ignore, and I'll put a screw in it. Where's Mr. John Holmes? There we go. Amiga's, this thing links up at 10 meg, so I have to have a switch that is capable of 10. Yay, there we go. Now, because I do not have a Gotek in the 3000 tower, which I should, but I'm not going to because there's no way to properly put one in, besides the 5 1/4 bay, which I haven't made up my mind whether I'm doing a CD or not. The reason I cannot is because the bottom plate cover right here just pops out. So you ever seen a 3000 tower with 2 floppies? Ooh, they came high density from the factory. But you can see I would have to cut or manipulate this, which is against my religion. As you know, I love my Amigas tremendously and treat them all with the respect they deserve. I even have that Piccolo card, which I still haven't been able to test. That's this thing because of the issue with the Amiga 2000 of moronic whatever that I put out. You saw that one. So I'm going to stick to my guns and not touch that for now. This is the pregnant mouse. It matches my belly. Stock 60 to 30, 25 megahertz. Okay, this looks a little dim. It's my monitor. I'm going to use the easiest method for now, which for me is Miami, because I'm not taking that hard drive out and doing monstrosities. I'll do Roadshow later. Miami, I can do host names and stuff real quick. I ain't there yet. 7:16 p.m. Is it just that slow? It is just that slow. So there we go. Step 1 of this entire night was getting software to make the network so I could get the stuff I need for the other 2 cards. So, Big Mama here has networking, and that was step 1. Great. That is noisy. Number 2 card is the macro system Toccata sound card. Has a custom DMS disc that I have to write. I'll write it on the 4000. Zorro 2. Okay, Ethernet card, Toccata. Macro system Toccata, version 1. This is in, 1/4-inch to 3.5. Notice the 2 lines, that's a left and a right. Now, because the girl's lid's off and she looks all funky, I'm going to at least put her pants back on. Okay, installing Toccata drivers, put the cover back on the 3000. I don't know what this is. Nope. Okay. Alright, so with that done, that's Toccata. Let's get into AHI. Hey, there we go. And now I can scroll down to Toccata 16-bit stereo plus plus. Ooh, it only does 16-bit. So I'm going to crank the frequency up to 4401. That's for music unit. We're going to say save. I found a crazy picture of the card, and you can see that it has auxiliary 2 mic on the top of the card, and then you have auxiliary 1 line in and out. We need a file browser with modern directory sizes. It's not getting stereo. I'm just going to crash. We're working with 30-something-year-old software and technology. I got the AHI all sorted out. I don't need the 1/4-inch loop back. I'm just literally plugged right into the Toccata card with that adapter. I got Hippo Player to use the AHI driver. Sounds a lot better. 44.1 kilohertz. An AHI Toccata 16-bit stereo plug. Finally, after 2.5 hours, I'm going to install the Emplant. So the last of the big mofos of this is the Emplant. Alright, installer, welcome to Emplant. Yep. Show drives. I want to do it into system. Proceed. Where's your C drive? C? Where's libs? Right here. Where's devs? Right there. Where's fonts? You know where it's at? Why are you asking me these things? Now set up the emulations launcher program. Alright, we are at Amiga 3000 with system 7.1 and later. Yes. Quiet, no screen flash on startup. I don't know, whatever. Don't skip emulation setup. You must power off. You must turn off power to your Amiga before attempting to run the emulation. Rebooting will not work. You must turn off the Amiga by its power switch. Like it said, turn it off. Take its disk out. Turn it back on. Oh, it worked. I'm just going to do nothing and say start. ROM image. Okay, ROM image. Select ROM image. Oh, man. So that's how they got around it. They don't have ROMs on the board. I'm going to have to either get my ROMs out of my AMAX board or get some of my other ROMs dumped. Okay, so check this out. The board does work. I loaded up the program, and it's telling me that, of course, the Emplant is there. Version 2. Socket empty, socket empty, socket empty, auto boot, socket empty, socket empty, socket empty. So these are your extra dips. SEC option, yes. e586dx capable, yes. That's another piece of software by Emplant later on. Max sound, mono, and it does have the SCSI option. Hi, welcome back to day 2 on the Emplant. Last night, around midnight, I managed to acquire ROMs from the Macintosh Garden. I got the 128s, the 256s, and I screwed around with it, but I was tired and I was having problems finding a ROM. Then I realized something stupid. Me! When you're tired and it's late, you do dumb things. And I will admit it, I am not perfect. Thanks to editing, I'm able to fix these things. But what happened? So I copied the ROM file over, the 128, 256, 512, I have all of them, but I didn't rename them. When I downloaded them from the garden, their file names are about that long. So I shortened them up. And you can see now they're actually named. Could be naming, I don't know, load. Alright, this one works. Mac2 SE30. That works for me. Can I save configuration? Yep, save config. Whoop. Sounds good. Start and iconify. Okay. DF0 went busy, so it's looking for a Mac thing. But I don't have a, you know, boom. Emplant, baby. We're in black and white. I have mouse. Shouldn't I get a screen? Yep. Perfect. Perfect. That is the boot screen that I'm looking for. Similar to the AMAX 2's board, where it gives you the actual Apple logo. System disk, 605. I'm going to drop it right on the floor. Maybe it's looking for high density. I don't know. Sorry about the fan noise because, you know, it's Amiga. And I'm waiting for something else other than a question mark. Now the neat thing about this board is if I can get the RTG card working, I can export the Emplant screens to it and still have the Amiga on the native monitor. Whoops. Now I got a screw up. I don't know. Now I have an X. Where I had a question mark before. Okay, so I'm FTPing crap from the classic Mac Performa 575 from my server. And I'm getting all the Apple Classic crap that I had for my Amex. I have one more trick up my sleeve when this totally fails. I have some old Windows disks for Action 2.5 and crap that I haven't used in 30 years. I'm just gonna reformat them. I drilled a hole in the old Computer City disks I use for the Amiga. 1.4 meg now. So I'm gonna use one disk, which is in here now. We are transferring at a whopping 35,000 bytes per second, but these are the high density disks. I'm going to make one high density disk. If this turd doesn't boot it, I have a zip drive with System 6 already installed from the AMAX 2 era, and we'll be going with that, which means I'll have to install a zip drive on the Amiga. At least get it there so something maybe can possibly not see it. I don't know these things. This shovel just keeps getting deeper and deeper. We're about 12 feet deep right now. And is this how fast things were back then? Did we just kind of go eat lunch when we started a transfer? Good Christmas. 13 seconds left. Oh, we're on disc 4 of 7. So this is now unstuffing the image that's going to allow me to use the doohickey to unwrap the archive of the downloaded OS image that I can write the floppy so I can test boot it, and then it'll all fail. Why are you doing this? Are you going to use it? No, I just want to see if it can be done. And why is this so crazy or over complicated? Why, even in the 90s, was it this freaking much work? Like you had to have a Mac to dump the ROMs, and like why would I buy an Emplant card if I still needed a Mac to dump ROMs to, if I still needed a Mac to get programs from, because you can't do nothing. Even if I bought the discs, they would be double-sided, double density of the time. So you'd have to either pay tremendous money for ROMs, and if you couldn't dump your own, or whatever. And why is this taking so long? It's an 040. Let's see. Install disk 1. Holy Christmas. Now, can I finally write a freaking floppy? There it goes. Holy God. Alright, file operation completed successfully. Thank you. Kiss my ass. Thank you, Mr. 68K Mac. I am done with you for now. Start and iconify. High density disk is in the drive. It's the Amiga high density disk that we just made on the real Mac. If I get a smiley face, I got a smiley face. Holy bar mitzvah. Now I have to hook up the damn, I have to make all the other damn disks. That was the hardest thing I had to do, and mainly because it's 2023 and I'm trying to recreate crap from the 80s and 90s. Thanks to the internet and the wonderful resources it offers through various freaks and weirdos like myself and enthusiasts around the world, we were able to save these things. But dang, documentation on the Emplant, while is there. I have the whole documents right here. Well, you need a high density drive if you have an Amiga with an Emplant. You need it. Otherwise you can't do anything. Or you need a real Apple drive that you plug on the back of that thing. Now it is not fast. There's a hard drive file in here I want to initialize. Thank goodness that I have so many ancient computers where I can make disks. If you have one machine or a laptop and your old machine, you're trying to do all this, it's virtually impossible. Just for S&Gs, I should test the... What? I wish to continue using my Mac. What the hell? That's great. It just rebooted on me. Do I get a Mac screen? Finally, or is it going to say restart? After a double boot. FU floppy disk.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I got it working. Does it work well? No, it's a piece of freaking dookie. So, as a last attempt with the with the Emplant POS board and its overly complicated setup. AMAX, 100 times easier. AMAX, I can do 15, 20 minutes. No F's given. Plug it in, you plug a floppy cable in, you plug that back to the Amiga drive, you're done. You turn it on, you push the machine in, you're good. No fussing that came with ROMs, and it just works. And you're done. Hi, Nut Farm. Got a zip disk. I put the AMAX thing in, hooked it up with a iOmega SCSI cable. Probably won't work. So it sees the iOmega zip. It's not changed. I'm not messing with it. So this is my my System 6 install on a zip drive. If it works. If it even works, because we'll see. You can see I have no activity up here. This is no. System 7 tuner bus. Turn off extensions and hold the shift key. Yeah, I turned extensions off and I got an illegal instruction. So that leads me to say that Emplant, no. No. If you can make this thing work, it's a freaking miracle. I went through all sorts of stuff that the regular Amiga user will not do. Will not do. You would have turned this off and said, beep, long ago. Forget the Mac emulation stuff. The Mac emulation is the most complex there is. When it works, it's wonderful. If you can set it up. You saw I have wasted an entire weekend on this SOB, and I don't feel like messing with it anymore. There's only one thing left in this project I wanted to do, and that's this. I have no idea if this board works. I have no idea about anything on this board. Double mouse button. We're going to do expansion board diagnostics and see if that other board shows up. So 514 is Commodore. 18260 is the Toccata. 2195, this has got to be the RAM and the video of the Piccolo. Do I want to read the manual now? No, I do not. It detects the Piccolo automatically. That is cool. So the board will show up, but you can't attach it. Like it's in the P96 preferences, but when you go to attach the board to a resolution to make this thing work, you know, it doesn't do it. Please attach a board from the board menu. Okay, see the Piccolo right here? Well, I can't do anything to it. It's right there. It's attached. Great. Save it. Reboot. Reboot now. Your Picasso 96 stuff is screwed up. You sure dang tootin' it is. Picasso 96 could not create your graphics card. That's what it says. You feeling okay? Okay. Nope. Cobra Rash. So, it doesn't work. This board does not work. It's always caused problems. It does detect, but you cannot attach a board to it. At least the sound card and Ethernet card work, so, well, actually 3 out of 3. The Emplant did work, but it was such a complex turd, it was impossible to get working again. Let's see if I can boot the Amiga and get back to the desktop, because that is not happening. And I gotta remove Picasso 96 if I can, because it will screw up my machine forever. Install the uninstall for real. Delete everything. Yes. Now I'm gonna give it a full reboot. We shouldn't get that crazy screen on the reboot, and we'll be back. But if you want to check out what the AMAX board does, I did do it on my 3000 desktop. Just hate to be slapping this whole thing around all weekend so hard. On a plus note, I did get my AHI drivers. So I got at least sound off the Toccata 44 kilohertz, and it sounds wonderful. I screwed that up with a mono cable. Stereo works fine. Not epic failure of monumental moronic proportions this time. Did get some progress done. Got the Toccata in, and we got the 2065 Ethernet configured. Did it take me all day? Pretty much. Emplant board, which doesn't seem as easy as you think it would be. for as expensive as they are on eBay. You're going to get yourself into a world of issues unless you have a classic Mac, access to old floppies, and some good resources on the Macintosh Garden or wherever. Maybe she needs a good butt wipe, an upgraded ROM, and something a little newer. I kept it 3.1 because I want to use this machine to show off history of cards, and 3.1 was the most compatible for these machines when they were around and all these cards were mainstream production. We didn't have 3.14 and 3.21 yet. That is all I got for now. Thank you for hanging out with me for yet another crazy Amiga thing. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?